I am Lion Jody Burmester from Lions Virtual, and I'm going to be the host today for what is now the fifth, that's number 5 of the 9 courses for the Lions Virtual Academy Servant Leadership Certification. These sessions are being brought to you by Lions Virtual, and they're being led by Vice President AP Singh and PID Sangeeta Jatia. And these sessions are really envisioned to help you understand and explore the concepts related to servant leadership. I want to start off by sharing a screen here with you and talking about, as this is the 5th in the series, want to make sure that you understand and are able to go back and take part in and catch up on the other 4 sessions if you haven't been able to do so yet. To do that, you'll see on the screen that you simply go over to the Lions Virtual YouTube channel. The link is in the chat, and you view the video there. The recordings there have comments in the bottom, and in the first comment, you'll see that there's a reflection question link. Go ahead and click on that link once you've watched the video and complete the reflection questions. These reflection questions allow you to contemplate and think about the content that's been shared and then be able to apply it to your own learning. Once you submit those reflection questions, you'll be able to download your own certificate of completion for that session and print it off your own system. Just a reminder of what the first sessions have been. The first session was on servant leadership, the second, humility, the third, responsibility, the fourth, relevancy, and then today's session is focused on partnerships and innovation. With that, if there's no other questions, we are going to go ahead and jump ahead and get started.
Thank you so much, Jody and Daniel, and the entire team of Lions Virtual. Changing the world as we look beyond is today's theme of discussion, the second of our 3-part series of this Lions Year. Many of you were on a journey last year, and this year too, as together we explored the tenets of servant leadership. As we walk the path together this year and the next, the ones who join every discussion, we promise a face-to-face with the then first Vice President at Mexico City. Servant leadership embodies a profound synergy between partnership and innovation. At its core, this approach prioritizes the needs and development of others, fostering a culture of collaboration, trust, and empowerment. By emphasizing the growth and well-being of individuals, servant leaders establish strong partnership within their teams, cultivating an environment where innovation flourishes. Today, we have 2 individuals who, in conversation with Vice President Singh, will discuss how both partnerships and innovation enhance servant leadership. But before that, let us hear what Vice President AP has to say. Vice President AP, in a previous episode, you had emphasized on working in a team. Today's world is of building partnerships. How do you see one complementing the other?
Thank you, PID Sangeeta. It is extremely important in our organization to be able to build and to work with partnerships. There are various steps involved. The first is recognizing the opportunity for a partnership. These opportunities are all around us. If we ever think that we can do the good work that we are doing alone, then we would perhaps be mistaken. There are individuals and organizations that have different core strengths. Their values may be overlapping or may be similar with ours, but their strengths in terms of delivery of service to those who need it are entirely different. So we need to be able to identify those opportunities. Then we must be able to build those partnerships. When we build those partnerships, it is important to regard everybody as an equal. If we regard ourselves as superior or above somebody else, we will not be building partnerships. We need everybody to give their 100% when a partnership is designed and built. And in order to do that, every organization, every individual will demand respect. This concept of servant leadership, which teaches us humility, which teaches us to work with others, which teaches us collaborative working, which teaches us to get to our goals ultimately and not do it alone, to be able to do it together. Getting to the goals is important. Individuals are not so important. This concept will be extremely helpful in building such partnerships. And then there is a question of sustaining those partnerships. We have often seen that partnerships are built up by Lions in different districts, in different multiple districts. But the question is, are those partnerships sustainable? Do they grow from year to year? We have some examples within our organization where partnerships have grown over the years. For example, our partnership and collaboration with Special Olympics, our partnership and collaboration with the J&J for Sight for Kids. There are various other partnerships at the national level, at multiple district levels across the world. Lions are aware of them. Now, if you look at those partnerships and try to find out how and why they have grown, they have developed, maybe they had small beginnings, but today they must have become wonderful, expansive projects. That's because of the attitude of the leaders and the way that growth has been promoted by everybody concerned, especially the line leaders who are involved. So partnerships are important. We need to recognize their opportunities. We need to build them. We need to grow them and sustain them. It's when they really grow. Some beginnings can be very, very humble, and that's perfect. We need to start somewhere. Those humble beginnings can ultimately lead to great results when we can grow those partnerships. And in growing them, it is the values of humility. It's the values of being able to carry everybody with us. It's the value of respect for every individual. It's the value of realizing that we are here to serve. And if we serve with someone else, so much the better. After we are multiplying the efforts, we are multiplying the resources that go into community service and community development. With that mindset, we can always continue to grow these partnerships.
Thank you, Vice President. You're right. Partnership is fundamental to servant leadership, as it engenders a sense of shared purpose and collective responsibility. Leaders in this model perceive themselves as facilitators, working alongside their team members rather than commanding from above. Taking this forward, we have Vice President Singh in conversation with past International Director Manoj Shah from Nairobi, Kenya.
PID Manoj, can you tell me, when we talk of servant leadership, what does this mean to you?
Thank you, Vice President AP Singh, for inviting me to this Lead to Serve session. Thank you for the question on servant leadership. When we speak of servant leadership, it's a philosophy that takes on profound significance within the context of Lions International and our enduring motto, "We serve." To me, servant leadership encapsulates the very essence of what Lions clubs worldwide stand for. In Lions International, servant leadership is not just a concept, it's a way of life. It means putting the needs of others before our own. Just as our organization has been doing for over a century, our motto, "We serve," is not a mere catchphrase, but a commitment to serve our communities, our fellow Lions, and the world with unwavering dedication. Servant leadership, to me, in the context of Lions, signifies a leadership style that is rooted in empathy, compassion, and a genuine desire to make the world a better place. Our leaders don't command from the top, but lead by example, working tirelessly to address the needs of those less fortunate. They selflessly invest their time, resources, and energy in projects that improve lives and foster unity. So when we speak about servant leadership in Lions International, it means embracing the duty to serve humanity with humility, integrity, and a heart full of compassion. It means living our motto, we serve, in every action and decision, always remembering that by serving others, we fulfill our greatest purpose. In Lions, servant leadership isn't just a philosophy, it's the very foundation of our noble mission to make the world a better place, one act of service at a time.
Manoj, you have been involved with a variety of initiatives, the service initiatives in Africa, and some of them were extremely challenging, I am sure. Nothing comes out very easy in the beginning, at least. But how did you build up these great institutions that we are so proud of today, be it the Laurentio Hospital or be it the MP Shah Hospital and various other institutes? How did you make that possible?
Yes, I have had an incredible journey of being involved in many social organizations. And today, I am incredibly proud to share my journey of involvement in a variety of initiatives across Africa, some of which were exceptionally challenging. These initiatives have played a vital role in building institutions that we hold in high regard today. My dedication and passion led me to contribute to institutions like the MP Shah Hospital, Lion Sight First Eye Hospital, the Automobile Association of Kenya, Kilimanjaro Blind Trust Africa, St. John's Ambulance, and Special Olympics Kenya. In challenging circumstances, I worked tirelessly to make a difference. At the MP Shah Hospital, we enhanced healthcare accessibility and quality for countless individuals. At the Lion Sight First Eye Hospital, we brought the gift of sight to those in need, and at the Automobile Association of Kenya, we improved road safety on our roads and saved lives. My commitment to the Kilimanjaro Blind Trust Africa ensured that no one's potential was limited by a lack of access to education or healthcare. At the St. John's Ambulance, it became a pillar of emergency care and first aid. My involvement in Special Olympics allowed individuals with intellectual disabilities in Kenya to shine bright. These institutions represent a legacy of unwavering dedication, collaboration, and the power of transformation. Each of them stands as a testament to our collective efforts to make a lasting impact on the lives of people in Africa. Thank you, and let's continue our journey of making a difference.
You have partnered in a very positive way with many countries, Lions from various countries and constitutional areas for building service projects in Kenya, in Africa. Can you share some insights how you worked to make these partnerships possible and then make them grow to be so strong?
With Lions clubs and districts from around the world has been an experience of a lifetime for me. I am honored to share how I have had the privilege of partnering positively with Lions clubs and districts from around the world in building remarkable projects in Kenya. These partnerships are not just about constructing structures, they are about building bridges of collaboration and understanding. In our journey, we have worked hand in hand with Lions clubs from Japan to construct a fully fledged school at the Kani village in Kenya, ensuring access to quality education for the local children. This project is a testament to the power of international cooperation for a common goal. My collaboration with the Finnish Lions on the solar cooker project has illuminated the lives of over 500 families in rural villages, not only providing sustainable cooking solutions, but also reducing the carbon footprint. With the support of German Lions, we have brought clean water to communities, making an indelible impact on the health and well-being of countless Kenyans. Our eye care programs, crafted with partners from Spain and India, have been instrumental in ensuring that no one suffers from preventable blindness. Together, we have extended the gift of sight to those in need. One program that I personally am truly proud of is the Sight for Kids program in association with Johnson & Johnson, which has been the most successful venture impacting the lives of countless children with essential eye care. To make this partnership strong, I believe in the values of advocacy, accountability, public relations, and the beauty of inviting our partners to visit the very project they support. These visits foster deeper connections and inspire a shared commitment to our mission. In these projects, we have not only built schools, distributed solar cookers, provided clean water, and delivered eye care, but also established a global network of lions united by a common purpose. Our partnerships are not just about construction, they are about building hope, one project at a time.
PID Manoj, we are all aware that you're getting ready to lead our association in the years to come. But what would be your guiding principle? Can you share with us?
Thank you, Vice President AP. As I prepare to lead our Lions International Association as the third International Vice President, I am driven by a profound sense of purpose and a vision to propel our organization to new heights. My guiding principles for the years to come will revolve around inspiring service and igniting leaders. My vision is to help our association surpass the magical mark of Mission 1.5, which embodies our unwavering commitment to making the world a better place. To achieve this, I'm dedicated to enhancing existing service opportunities and exploring new avenues to reach out to even more individuals in need, spreading the hope and support that define Lions International. I firmly believe in the potential of our youth, and I'm wholeheartedly committed to building and expanding our Leo and youth movement worldwide. Young leaders are the future of our organization, and I will work tirelessly to nurture their talents and passion for service. I am deeply passionate about the invaluable work that Lions International carries out across the globe. Together, we can make a profound impact on the lives of countless individuals and communities. I am committed to harnessing this passion to drive our organization forward, making a lasting difference in the world. In my role as an executive officer, I will strive to be a beacon of inspiration and leadership dedicated to empowering every lion to serve with greater zeal and compassion. Together, we will continue to be the shining light of hope for those in need. And I'm really looking forward as an international third vice president to forward the journey ahead, igniting the spirit of service and inspiring leaders in our Lions International family.
Thank you for that, Vice President AP. They say innovation and creativity flow when an individual is given freedom to express themselves. How does that blend with servant leadership?
Thank you for that question. Now, that's a very deep question, PID Sangeeta. The point is that servant leadership always brings out the best in each individual. Each individual wishes to serve. Each individual wishes to carve out a place for himself or herself in one's society, in one's community. We all want to be remembered for something positive, for some positive impact that we have made in our own lifetime. We all want to leave upon the sands of time those footprints that people would come behind us and say, well, here was a good person who lived before us. Here was an individual who did something for the society, for the community. Every individual has that in one's own mind, deep within oneself. But then how does it come out? It comes out the best when that individual is serving in a selfless manner, when that individual is providing service or is engaged in this entire initiative in a manner that that person is not talking about oneself alone, that the ego is put on the back burner, but more important is the humility. More important is carrying others with us. More important is building a team. More important is realizing that we cannot do it alone. We are all part of an ecosystem. If we want to change the system too, we still have to be part of that system to be able to change it. We have to be able to grow our economies, to grow our communities, so that the life becomes safer and secure on this planet Earth. We have a commitment to leave this world slightly better than what we have inherited. Now, these are inner desires in every individual. So when one works with one's mind that is free, when one works not with that egoistic blend, but with that essential component of trying to serve for a good reason, trying to serve for a good cause. It's the reason and the cause. It's the ultimate gain that the community will have, that the people in general will have, is more important. At that point of time, there is so much more positivity that gets built up in that individual. And when that positivity gets built up, the mind opens up. The mind is then not constrained by artificial factors of self and ego and personal gain and personal gratification. Once that mind is open, the elements of innovation and creativity are bound to come in. That's the way human mind has been designed. That's the way human beings work. Our minds work best, as they say, when we are in a flow, when we are comfortable, and when we are flowing in something that we love doing. When we love what we are doing, then there is no pain of doing it. Then there is a pleasure that's being derived. Pleasure in every manner, pleasure internally, pleasure of the soul, pleasure that the individual feels within oneself. And once that happens, the individual's overall capabilities and the capacities of that individual can really bloom, then really come forward. And it's at that point of time that innovation and creativity step forward. Innovation and creativity basically require that we think outside the box. Sometimes we think of a new box. We think with an open mind. We are not constrained by what's happened in the past. We can definitely learn from the past, but we are not here simply to replicate the past. It's with that mindset when we are working that innovation, creativity all open up. You will see it with the sports persons. You'll see it when the sports persons are playing, and when they are in a flow, they produce the best shots, they produce the best games, they produce the best results. They have to be in that flow to be able to believe that they can do something. Now, this belief within ourselves as volunteers comes when we are 100% convinced that what we are doing is right, that we have the resources, we have other people, we are working in a group, we have the group strength, we have the wisdom of the group. We are all individuals, but the collective strength is much more than the sum total of individual strengths. When we are working with that kind of a backdrop, and that backdrop is only possible when we are working with the element of servant leadership. So that servant leadership gives us the mindset, the backdrop. It helps us open up our mind, and then comes creativity and innovation. Creativity and innovation would mean we may be engaged in the same service project, but we may do it more effectively. We may do it more economically. We may do it in a manner that it has a larger impact. We may be able to involve more people in it. We may be able to draw in more volunteers. We may be able to reach out our services to more people. It's the same service project that we may be doing, but that innovation and creativity can totally change the nature, scope, and expanse of that service project. And that is what happens when we are working with the mindset of servant leadership.
And it is so appropriate that in the next segment, we have a conversation between Vice President AP and past International President Gudrun Yngvadottir from Iceland, our president, who was always looking for new voices.
Past President Gudrun, Beyond the Horizon was your theme as the international president. Can you elaborate on the theme and your rationale behind it?
Yeah, my theme, Beyond the Horizon, was to encourage Lions to think bigger and to be more open to new opportunities, to be creative and to be brave, to do more than they have ever done before. And it concerns, for example, service. We serve beyond the horizon. We can do more. We can do different projects. We can find a new project that we have never done before, or even new fundraisers. It's very important to be forward-thinking and not be very narrow-minded. So encouraging Lions to think bigger and do more was very important so we could be more successful as Lions.
The world is diverse, with unique challenges and opportunities in different regions. How do we ensure that the projects and initiatives of our clubs are responsive to the specific needs of the communities that we serve?
Yeah, if we really want to change the world, we as servant leaders, we have to really analyze what is the need in our community and in the world, because the need is changing. And servant leaders, we listen to the people in need, the members in our clubs, what they are ready to do, what they would like to do, and we together, we analyze the needs of our community. And we do what is most needed. We can be guided by the global causes, but there is even more that we can do. Only the thing that is most needed, so we can really change the world. So the world has really changed, and the service project we used to do in our clubs, they might not be needed any longer. The service project we used to do were popular among the members, but they maybe are not any longer. And our service project, what we used to do, may not attract new members. But if we find the right projects, we are not only serving more people with happy members, but also attracting new members. So then we have more hands to even serve more.
Thank you for your comments, Past President Gudrun. Let me now ask you, servant leaders are known for active listening and empathy. That is what defines servant leadership. How can we encourage open communication within our Lions clubs and our districts to ensure that everyone's voice is heard and considered?
It's very important to listen to all the voices in the clubs. We are volunteers, and we need to really listen to and consider all the good ideas that are in the club. We tend to listen to the same voices, speak loud and often, and we forgot there are small minority groups in the club. For example, there might be a few women, there might be a few young people, and they are just minority and they're not listened to. So we have to encourage these voices to speak. And we had to encourage the other to listen to these great ideas. That's the only way we can move forward. And we have used this a lot to encourage and to improve our message to non-lions as well, because they don't know what we are doing, but they need to know that we have a good balance. We have men and women, we have young people, old people, we have all groups. Everyone is invited. We are a diverse group. So, and to prove that, we have to listen to those new voices.
And now a final question, Past President Gudrun. The theme, Changing the World, suggests a forward-looking approach. How do you encourage innovation and adaptability within the Lions clubs and districts to address emerging challenges effectively?
We are going to be successful in Mission 1.5 and really to change the world. As servant leaders, we have to be forward-thinking. We have to be creative and we have to be brave. We have to have the courage to do something new. And to encourage our clubs, we can share success stories. We can learn from each other. So sometimes you can give examples of similar clubs doing similar projects, but you can also challenge them. Tell them from a great project that they may think in the beginning it's a silly idea, but if they see it's a success, they can learn from it. I would like to share with you a project which I love to talk about. It's about the women that decided to climb a mountain to raise funds to be able to support children. And one got this crazy idea. She had to sell it to others, and she did. There was a lot of people that liked the idea, and they created a team, and they prepared and they planned the project very well. They prepared themselves. Took a long time, but they did it. They promoted it, so a lot of people were eager to know more. It was a great marketing thing, got a lot of good PR for the Lions. And they climbed the mountain, they raised the funds, they were able to really to donate and help many children. So they climbed another mountain. But what does this tell us? It's only one little idea. If you develop it well, prepare it well, you are successful. I tell this to clubs that I know will not be climbing a mountain, but they can learn that everything is possible. Don't be afraid. Don't look at some ideas as they are silly or crazy. Look at every idea as an opportunity to do something new and different and think bigger.
We've had some very interesting conversations today. And my dear friends from across the world who joined this event, who joined this program while we talk about servant leadership, let us continue to remember that servant leadership sends us that important message of empathy, of humility, of understanding, of collaboration, of working together. And all of that really needs to innovation. Innovation doesn't mean that we are trying to be inventing something new. Innovation only means a new way of doing things so that it becomes more impactful, so that it becomes more receptive. And in building innovation, sometimes it's extremely important to build respect. Respect for the individual whom we are serving. Every individual is unique in one's own way. Now, some of the individuals in many parts of the world, and there are millions of them, and that's unfortunate, are economically deprived, are economically challenged, or may be facing different kind of challenges. The question is, when we do go out to serve them, how do we do it with the greatest amount of respect? And let me narrate to you an example which was implemented in my part of the world, and it has been extremely successful. In and around the festivities, for example, the festivities of Diwali in India, which is the equivalent of the Christmas in the West, it was quite common to go out and give goodies and gifts and clothes and some warm clothing and maybe some toys to the children who come from economically challenged homes and who are deprived of such good things. Now, when we went out and gave those stuff to the children, they would accept it naturally because they were happy accepting it. But then somebody pointed out, and PID Sangeeta was the person who was very much involved in it, and she noticed it the most, that there was an element of a loss of self-respect when the child or the child with one's parent came forward to accept that gift that we were presenting to that child. I mean, it's bound to happen. So what did we do? What was the innovation? The innovation was turn around the entire project, turn around the way, the methodology of providing the gift. We don't provide the gift. At the gate, we tell the child it's time for festivities and you are going to go shopping. And we would give the child play money. And all these goodies were put in a booth or maybe multiple booths, and there was a price attached to that each item. Now, the child had play money with him or her. The child could go to that booth, select what the child wanted, ask the price of it, and pay with the play money. The child would just provide the play money, and that particular item would be handed over to the child. So the child was actually enjoying shopping, just like your and my children and our grandchildren would enjoy shopping during Christmas. That is something that those children were being deprived of. They weren't being deprived of just the good stuff. They were also being deprived of that experience of going shopping, feeling good about buying what they would like to buy. So all that experience was built in. All the various kinds of gifts were displayed. Each had a price displayed against it. The child had this play money available. So the child would go, and there were volunteers, the Lion volunteers in those booths. They would accept the play money and give the child that particular gift. The child was happy. The parent was happy. Respect was the key. The parent had been respected. The child had been respected. And what had been provided to the child was an experience that the child would really enjoy. We did reach out the same gifts to the same children, but the way we reached it out was different. This is an example of innovation. This is what we have been doing in our part of the world, in our district, for the past few years, and we find it extremely successful. We find it extremely meaningful. The same can be applied in many other ways in almost any other kind of service project that we do. How can we do it more respectfully? How can we involve and engage the others? How can we make that whole process of receiving something from the Lion's side a matter of pride and pleasure for the others? If we can do it, that would be working like a servant leader, ensuring the respect of the other, having that empathy, having that respect and regard for each individual in the community, and that also builds up the image of the Lions. I mean, there are so many other, examples that have come up. There was yet another when there were widows of some soldiers, of the veterans in the war that were being supported by the Lions. And there was a question whether we would call them to our Lions district event and hand them over the checks that were ready that we wanted to support to them. And ultimately, we decided that should not be it. They should not be asked to travel and come to our Lions district function and accept the check. For somebody in their homes has done the greatest service to the country in protecting the country and protecting us. So the Lions went to their homes without making a noise, without taking pictures, without publicizing the names, and with their eyes bending low, with their eyes looking down, they just handed over that gift or the check to the families, and they came back. That was service like a servant leader. We can build up those innovative styles of serving. That would be what is serving as a servant leader. I believe in doing that, we give much more than the material stuff that we give the other. We give that person that respect. We give that person that right to look up. We give that person, we restore that person's position much better in one's own community. I'm sure Lions will have many more ways to innovate their own service projects. Thank you for this opportunity, PID Sangeeta, and let's continue with the event.
Thank you so very much. And now, may I hand you back to Jody and Daniel, who will take us through the breakaway room discussions.
What incredible inspiration. Some of the key points to take away are on your screen right now. Partnerships are fundamental. PID Manoj gave us so many amazing examples of the partnerships he's been able to work on and help impact and create, and what it's done across the globe for people in need and to make the world a better place. Innovation and creativity flow from freedom to express yourself. Truly is. Look at all the innovative projects and ideas that these amazing Lion leaders have shared with us today. I think one of my favorite things that we saw today, or I heard, well, I'm going to read this screen first, I'll tell you my other favorite takeaways. Think bigger and be open to new opportunities. If PIP Gudrun's idea of finding our own mountains to climb doesn't resonate with you, find a way to get it to resonate with you. What an amazing idea. Look for something that's huge. Find a way to impact it and make a difference. And then empathy, humility, understanding, and collaboration lead to innovation. The examples that we heard today from all of our Lion leaders tie directly into this. Vice President AP's story about how they, instead of just giving a gift to a child at the holidays, they let them go and shop and have that experience. So many amazing ideas above and beyond that. And then the last big two takeaways for me were AP's quote, Vice President AP's quote of "we go versus ego." I mean, it is truly about we and not E when we, or I, when it comes to servant leadership. It's all about serving the needs and talking about the collective we. And then last but not least, I believe it was past President Gudrun that said, "The world has changed and our service must change as well to meet the needs of the current generations and future generations, not only to meet the needs of that need to be met, but also to help invite a new generation of Lions to join us." What great, great points. Hopefully you took as much out of it as I did.
It was really very important. That was very important, I felt. The other thing is too, the collaborative approach of working with other service organisations. And the annual event of a few years ago, we had the presidents of Leo's, of Lions, Rotary, Kiwanis, Sir Optimists, etc., come together. And on an annual basis now, they are doing that in the United States. On the week of, I think the Lion mentioned was 9/11, and carrying out a service project, and the response from the community on that event. So I think it highlighted to us that importance of that collaborative approach right from the top, and how it's been able to filter down to the local communities. So I felt that was really good. And it's not a matter of what's good. Everything is good. And I think that the importance of service and working together was something that was highlighted. There was also too that mention of humility. A member expressed her note on our AP sharing the fact that they could reach out to this person without looking at them, so that they were not, they were able to receive that without being judged, if you like, and how important that is. And that's something that we can keep in mind. So the other thing was also having something that we can do that causes people to have fun. Having fun. That annual social event that's been organised now, and they have, approximately 150 youth over the age of 18 that come together 4 times a year. And how well the call out to them is received. Something like 150 odd young people come together 4 times a year and enjoy a social event. Thank you.
Wow, some amazing ideas came out of the chat you all had for the last 20 minutes or so. Excellent work to that group. I wanted to highlight one or two things from the chat before I go on to Alper, who's going to come up next. But Dawn's group, Dawn Rice Norton's group, an excellent point was not to always needing to find new partners, but just to find new ways to engage the same partners to meet the changing needs. I think that's brilliant and such a good point. We don't have to dump our existing partners. We just need to make sure we're meeting the needs of the community, what they are now, and refreshing what we're doing. So I think that's brilliant. Great comment. All right, Alper, you're up, my friend.
Great. So in our group, in addition to service, the people were always thinking about how can they support mission 1.5. So this was great. We had people from France, England, India, Kenya, and Uganda. And the first thing was LCIF partnerships, like partnership with LCIF, or the partnerships that LCIF already established, like Johnson & Johnson. So clubs can get into those. And also Melvin Jones Fellowship came up. If we present it to companies, for example, they can give locations for free to us for fundraising, etc. So it can be good for membership and also keeping the service alive. And local governments, of course, came up. And it can also get the Lions name into the public. This is something mentioned. Also, big companies can be beneficial to us. And this is very interesting, virtual meetings. We don't talk much about them because sometimes we get bored of them because we had many, many virtual meetings. But actually, it can be beneficial, not for meetings among countries, but also within the same city. From India, we got this insight. City clubs and village clubs can connect to each other through virtual meetings, and they can learn how they conduct things in their own local communities. So it can improve both parties, and it's very good. And they created more projects thanks to this knowledge and insights. And also we can work with other institutions, other associations like us. And we can also change things that we donate or how we serve. For example, a story was about not we can just only donate food or medicals. We can also help people who loses their money due to bad companies. Maybe we can give them some, consultancy. So it was very, very interesting. And we couldn't get two people's insights because we thought that we had 15 minutes more, but we didn't. So anyway, I'm sure those would be also amazing as this, but it was very, very innovative and dynamic group. So thank you, guys.
Excellent discussion over there. I love that you tied it to Mission 1.5. And the comment about working and bringing other groups together from inside your own area is so key. And it's really building what we call a coalition model of service, where we bring all these nonprofits together and all these different walks of life together to identify challenges in our areas and then find a way to work together to meet those challenges. And that is really the future of Lionism when we look at our opportunities to meet the changing needs. Fantastic work, Alper, and to your team as well. All right, Suzanne, I am going to hit on asking you to unmute. I see your note. There you go.
Wonderful. Thank you. We had an amazing group, and of course, quite international in the group we were in, from the United States, Canada, England, Lebanon, and a couple of members who were not able to unmute themselves and share, and that was the technology, of course. But some of the things that were discussed and shared was how, when we are partnering and working with others, how to be creative and innovative of bringing new pieces of information with us when we're doing these partnerships. So, on missions, if you're doing a cataract mission, why not bring sewing machines and other things with you to work with those individuals in different ways? So it helps grow the partnership, but also provide needs for others that you're with. As also in developing the things that we do and allowing others to partner with us and be aware of what we're doing. One of the participants shared how important, and this new idea of working with allowing their district, multiple district, to share what service they're doing so that more of the members within the district are aware of it. Yes, I know it's service reporting, but this idea was such that if they report more of their projects, others in their communities will be able to participate in doing this. Perhaps a little bit of media, sharing the projects is important. But yes, we certainly do need to collaborate and communicate together to help build and grow our membership. And we agree that's important. We also were blessed by having someone share a story of how a wonderful partnership to expand 23 service projects within their community, involving hospitals, other NGOs, schools, even pop stars, so that they were able to work together. And I think there's going to be a lot of pop stars in that district, but they were able to work together, and they also, those individuals who were able to provide their time and service to help those in need felt more valued at the end of the service project. So amazing how the ideas just blossomed of being able to be part of the community. Sharing of how opportunities that come upon us need to be taken, whether it's talking with officials, newcomers, others in need within your communities, whether it's the Hope missions and things like that, where you're helping throughout your service area. So just lots of new ideas in how these clubs and members were able to use these partnerships to develop and to grow.
Wow, great work. So many exciting ideas came out of your room and all of the rooms. It is phenomenal when we get to spend this time together and be able to really truly see everything that's going on and learn from each other. That's really what it's all about. We don't need to reinvent the wheel here. We can learn from each other all the time. And that's where these breakout rooms are so powerful. Once we hear from these amazing leaders and get their inspiration, and then are able to move forward.